Okay, good morning everyone. I'm going to get this video out relatively quickly. We're going to do a morning update for the stock market using technical analysis. Guys, if you're new, drop me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Check out the course if you're interested in learning this as a skill set. Okay, triple Qs, couple things I'm watching. I put out a community post this morning. So if you don't get those, hit that bell notification. Sometimes that's the fastest way for me to get information out, especially in the pre-market. So check those out. Make sure you're hitting that bell notification so that you get those. That's what I've been told how that works. Couple things I'm watching on triple Qs, and this is really the key levels. All right, we had this gap yesterday. We ran down and filled the gap, and I'm seeing potential that we could rally here. Okay, I'm not fully saying we will, but there's definitely potential that this gap fill was the end of the downside, and we're going to now make another leg higher. If you really look at it, we hold here, we're making higher lows, okay? So there's a higher low and a slightly higher high, okay? So there is the potential for that rally up to that 318. I know I'm going back and forth, but again, we're at a key level in the market, kind of a key point, and so the market oftentimes will be very choppy back and forth when you're at that key level. I can tell you where I think things are going long term, but I have to adjust as the charts show up day to day. So I'm just trying to point you guys into what I'm seeing as a potential right now, and that is the potential that we gap filled and now we're going to rally, okay? So something to look for. It doesn't have to happen, but obviously it could. And just look at some of the things that would influence that. We got Amazon, okay? Amazon's continuing to kind of hold. Now, Amazon recently on this, really on the weekly chart, big support. You can see we just hit our support at 2040, 2025, basically right there. And so to see a couple weeks where we're kind of, chopping around, but holding this area is expected. And I would expect that we get some sort of a bounce. I've got the minimum bounce up here at 2,736. So if Amazon's going to do that, likely it's going to pull the Qs up as well. So that is the potential that we have. I can't say which way it's going to go as of right now. Again, these are the areas I'm watching, which is basically the gap, which yesterday was at 291.50. And then the recent lows, and we're looking at this hourly chart, and the lows 284.91. So looking at this level here and this level here, which way we break will probably depend where we go in the near term. Right now we're just kind of trading right at that level, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, a couple trade ideas, a new trade idea. I put it in the comment of that community post, but I'll get it in this video. Now, it's not fully confirmed yet, but I definitely want to point it out. AVGO, Broadcom. So this is a semiconductor. It's actually been one of the strongest semiconductors. Hasn't fully broken down yet. We've got a couple trend lines to watch. Here's the trend line that it was at back in 2020 and 2021. Broke here in 2021, and it really did a full back test right there of that broken trend line. But this thing is, it created this secondary trend line right here on the daily chart. So I've been watching this, and it has, we've got a breakdown of that trend today, a break and a sell signal right there. All right. So if we can hold down here and continue to build on these losses, and the selling, picks up, then we should have that confirmed sell signal. Okay, so that's a break of trend, and I see, there's a little bit of support right here, which is why we're getting a bounce, I think, first thing this morning, 243. If you take that out, I don't see any support till we get down to about 511, okay? And that's, so that's kind of what I got, and there's several levels below, but again, we'll just watch that. I think it's a solid sell signal, and we'll look for continued selling into the day, into the close. Okay, another area I've really been looking for some weakness is XLV. That's your healthcare sector, kind of one of the last holdouts of strength in the market. And it's a defensive sector, but we are starting to see the defensive sectors such as XLP get taken out and sold down pretty hard. So I'm expecting XLV to do the same. Look at the weekly chart here on XLV. Here's your bull trend, bullish support. Still above support as I zoom in, you can see there's the trend line and a key level of support right there at 124.53. So no reason to sell, but then I kind of scan over at some of these other healthcare stocks like ABBV, and I go to the daily chart. You can see here kind of flagging out. We created this bear flag, and then we were flagging out the last couple days, and boom, breaking down, really breaking down yesterday, but definitely more selling today. If I go to the hourly, you can see starting to sell down. So this could signal a continuation of this pattern down to, you know, ultimately if I go to the daily here, we've got this trend line to watch. And you can see we got support, there's support. So that would be my target, would ultimately be down there. Hit the 200 and hit that trend line. And that should be good support down there. Okay, this one car, I pointed this trade out a while back. Really, I took the short on this one right back here. That was your sell signal. All right, if you look at the break of the trend line, there's the trend line coming off the March 2020 lows. You've got tags of support, a little bit of a bear trap right through here. But ultimately, you got this breakdown, and we got to take the breakdowns for, you know, when they occur, for what they're worth. So a little bit of a sell signal. Okay, so this one's continuing to break down below the 200 and just pretty much heading straight down. I really think the target on this continues to be about 51.84. All right, so it's still quite a ways down. Now, we're pretty oversold. Maybe we get a bounce, maybe not. But I would just look to sell the rips on this. It's already started an impulsive sell down. So yeah, that's all I got on that one, just kind of following up. Netflix. So Netflix rallying a little bit today. You know, I'm a little mixed on where it goes, to be honest. It could easily climb, but I'm just going to use the Qs to be my guide. Again, if Netflix is going to rally, then we'll likely going to rally up to those targets that I talked about, 246. Or potentially gap fill up to 329. But again, I got to see the Qs start to rally. If the Qs rallies, Netflix is likely going to rally pretty impulsively as well. Netflix has the setup. So I did pull out of my Netflix long yesterday with a lot of these other things at the open. And I'll jump right back in long if I see it change. Again, the market is at a zone where it's a battleground. So it's going to chop back and forth. We need to figure out which way it goes, and potential to rally. Of course, we have the potential to drop pretty impulsively as well. So I got to just go with whatever I see in the charts. I'm going to get the video out there. There's not a whole lot more going on. Gold's kind of rallying, but up into the 200-day, nothing technically is changing. And so I'll get the video out, and we'll just keep an eye on it. If anything else comes up, I'll put out an end of the day video. Thanks, guys.